19. And by everyone, I mean the hundreds of thousands of people that watch me because I'm YouTube famous. Thank you. It's very nice. Waliko, your video's out, so.
Sorry.
Yep. So, you're walking through the jungle, carefully leading your horses along, when a bear roars and thunderously charges through the underbrush. It's massive, easily as tall as that moment when two dwarves and a halfling, easily as tall as Tal, probably taller in fact. Tal, your head comes up to the shoulders of this massive, malformed construction of muscle and bark. So this this bear comes charging out. Its flesh is green, like a fresh sapling. You can see its teeth are brown and cracked. Its eyes are glowing a dull green, and it charges at you, slamming through the underbrush. But you notice, perhaps in the half seconds you have before it's upon you, that as it passes, where there should be broken branches, the branches are whole. And it just comes thunderously charging towards you. But Oscar, you heard this thing. It's like a bull in a china shop. You're ready. You're on point. What do you do?
Well, first things first, I'm holding my horse here. If I like slap it away, like tell it to run towards the west, can I kind of be sure that I'm going to find it later if we survive this bear?
Oh, I'm sure you'll all find your horses after this encounter. I'm sure not a single one of them will get eaten by jungle denizens.
Fantastic.
Well, I'm going to do that anyway because I'm going to be casting some spells and the poor horse will run away anyway.
I'm assuming the sentence there was anyway.
The horse will that you should run that way.
Okay, so you slap the horse on its hindquarters and it just bolts off into the jungle away from the big scary monster.
Yeah, and then I turn to the bear and I start yelling at that thing like, I've had it with you jungle things, why can't I have a freaking creature of flesh and bone to hit for once? And while I curse this creature, this light gathers in my hand and I hurl my guiding bolt towards it.
Okie make an attack roll. So you hurl this guiding bolt towards it.
And it goes.
So you hurl this guiding bolt towards it. And what happens is it charges headlong into it. The bolt slams across its face and just rolls off, floats into the distance, and you can see like where that kind of green, like grassy kind of covering, it all burns away, and you can see this blood red dripping skin, and it runs towards you. You don't hit.
Yeah. Well done. Well, we have a fighter. I will retreat from this horrible creature charging towards me. Is this like any difficult terrain or stuff?
Yeah, the entire area is thick jungle. Like,
so I have 25 feet, so is it 10?
15. I'm generous.
Okay.
I'm generous. Move an extra 5 feet. But yeah, there also should be like a lot of trees and stuff, but just imagine them.
Well, I run 15 feet this way, away from the bear.
Boop. And the bear goes, I'm a bear. Nom 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 nom. Nom 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 nom. 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 So the bear just charges into the bulk, roars, and begins slamming against you. If you haven't already, Rakus, Tal, and Robin, your mounts all like bolt unanimously. They're like, nope. They all follow after Brotskar's mount, and then the bear roars and slams down. It's going to attack both Tal and Robin.
Alright.
So, Tal, you're getting the first, and Robin, you're getting the second.
How fast does this thing go? Is it like a quick moving thing, or is it?
It could
How's it-
probably chase down a horse. It's pretty big and therefore pretty fast, just by virtue of its like size.
Mm. And it's sort of naturally able to get through the plants and that because
Yeah,
of its
it seems like the plants
obvious affinity to it.
aren't bothering it. Like you can hear the sound of it like crunching and breaking as it charges through things, but after its passage, the forest seems undisturbed. So whether it's running through them or breaking them and then they're reforming by some mystical forces, unknown. But anyway, Tal, boop.
All right.
And Robin, boop. What's your AC,
Right.
Robin?
19 now.
Okay, so Tal, the bear roars up on its hind legs and slams down, and as it does, it like takes a swipe at Robin. You manage to duck underneath it, and it like scratches across like the floating hairs on your head. But as it does that, suddenly its head snaps round onto you, Tal, and it like slams its teeth into your shoulder.
All right.
Take some damage. It's odd, hitting things. So yeah, the bear like tears a chunk of flesh out of your shoulder. Blood begins to seep down, and you can see where your flesh is in its mouth. It just like turns green and mossy, and then it swallows.
Yeah.
So you take 9 points of damage. Tal, how do you respond?
That was a pretty tough wound. So Tal attacks with her short sword, and then using her awesome monk skills, burns a chi point and dodges.
Excellent decision. Boop. So this thing like rips a chunk out of you. You like thrust your short sword forward, and as you do, you can see like the flesh of it like beginning to twist and turn, and you have to like yank your short sword back very quickly because you realize it begins to wrap around the edge of your weapon and pull it in. And you're like, oh god, what the fuck?
Ooh.
Rakust, what do you do?
What do I do? I'm gonna step in between Brodkar and the big bear and swing my warhammer at it.
Okay. So you like slam the warhammer into the side of this creature, and it's like slamming a hammer into a really, really hard oak door. Just bong! Anything else?
I don't have anything else to do, so...
Most excellent. Robin, what do you do?
Okay. So this thing is a serious threat. I saw the blow it dealt Tal, so I will imbue my sword with my holy energy, so it begins to glow with light as it becomes my sacred weapon, and then I will stab it. We'll see how that goes. See if I actually hit.
Okay, so you thrust your sword into it, and there's just like an explosion of blood. It's frothing and red, splashes all over you, and very quickly it begins to turn from this dark red into a vivid and bright green, and begins to sprout up. So you hit it, and you deal a big chunk of damage. But
I'm going to smite as well if I hit it. So.
Oh yeah, go for the
before
smite.
You describe it. Yeah. An extra 8.
22.
22 in total.
Easier for me to math. Thank you. Okay, so I need you to make a strength saving throw.
Oh damn. Okay. Bloop.
Okay, so as the blood thickens and turns green, vines begin to sprout out of it, and very quickly wrap around you, and you're like, no, what the? And then it just constricts, and you're like standing there, tied up. You are mechanically you're restrained until you can beat the strength save.
Is that an action to do so?
Yes.
Okay.
Restrained. I can't remember. Can you still attack when you're restrained? Because some of the ones where they like tie you up, you can still attack. So I just want to check for you. Restrained. disadvantage on attack rolls. Attacks against you have advantage, and you can't move, and you have this on deck saves. But you can still attack if you want. So Brodgar, you're up. Yes, Brodgar. Yes, I am correct. Yes.
Yeah.
What would you like to do?
Brodgar would like to burn things and hopefully not burn this whole jungle on us, but I assume it's pretty damp here, so
Yeah.
we'll see. Thing is, guys here are missing and one is getting strangled and all that stuff. Brodgar shouted, "Don't you guys have any balls?" And then a flaming spear conjures behind this bear, like over here, and starts floating there, like it's this, like 2 feet 2, like ball of fire. Like imagine when you see like a sun in like sci-fi movies, like it's this fiery spear of flame. And then with my bonus action, I move it backwards a little bit and then I ram it into the bear, so it will take immediate damage from that.
Okay, and this is the spell Flaming Sphere?
Flaming spear, yes, I can cast it here. That's a lot of text. Let's say it's that.
Any creature that ends its turn within 5 feet makes a dex save. As a bonus action, you can ram it and deal damage. That creature must make the saving throw. Cool. Excellent. That's what I need. Fire. Ba-da-ba-da-ba-ba.
Hopefully fire is effective against this thing.
Cool.
Yes.
So
Okay.
the flaming sphere rams into it, and you see it sizzle as when it like sinks in. The bark, like that covers this thick bear, just burns away, and then blood splatters onto the sphere, and it kind of like you see it like shrink and diminish slightly as it fades a bit, but then it flares up once again because this shit magical, yo. But you can tell that this thing is not as flammable as dry wood, and it takes half damage from your spell, which is 4. Cool.
It's a meaty plant bear.
Rawr. It may be jungle on the outside, but it's muscle and blood on the inside, where it counts. So the bear, there was a bear, black and brown and covered with hair. It's going to. Robin is restrained. Tal is dodging. It probably is still going to attack Tal, but does it still attack Robin, or does it go for Rakust who managed to poke it? Let's see. 11 or higher, it goes for Robin. It's going for Robin. Okay. So 1 disadvantage and 1 advantage. Drop highest. 7. Okay, so Tal.
Alright.
It like lunges at you with its jaws. The teeth close on empty air as you monk feng shui out of the way of what could have been a... Ooh, that would have been a 24 if you weren't dodging. However, Robin,
Yikes.
being entangled, you have the disadvantage of dropping the lowest advantage.
Indeed.
20. Okay, so
Okay.
it like lunges for you, Tal, and you like nimbly avoid, and as it like spins around, it follows through, swiping lazily with a claw, and slams into Robin. And you first like feel the pain as it like tears through your skin, but then there's the as the vines on you get shredded, like literally ripped apart, and then maybe half a millisecond later, they are completely unbroken as though they were never hurt. It's not so much that they regrow, it's almost like, you know, a glitch in the Matrix kind of thing. It's like, oh, nope, different outcome. And damage, of course, because damage. You take 15.
Oh, that does different damage than before. Is it a different kind of attack then?
Yeah, it has a bite and a claw.
Ah, okay, yeah, I was going to say. Was I bitten or was I clawed?
You were clawed.
I was clawed, okay.
Cool.
Its claws hurt more than its teeth. Oh, something to bear in mind.
Statistically speaking, yes. Actually, also maximum. Anyway, Tal, what do you do?
Yeah.
All
At this
right.
point, the bear can feel the fire sizzling at his hind legs.
Oh, yes. Ends his turn within 5 feet of the sphere. Thank you for reminding me.
Yes.
He
Yay.
passes.
God
Would you
damn
like
it.
to roll 2d6? See how much half damage is for him? So once again, like the sphere pulses with this burning fire, and you see like the sticky blood and sap
Forgot
on
that.
this creature just like boil off. It takes 3. Oh yeah, beefcake. Okay, so Tal,
Cake and
what you do?
All right. So Tal, seeing that this is a pretty big threat, tries a different approach and makes a short sword attack, followed by a flurry of blows. And depending on if these hit, I'll do cool things.
Okay,
Does one of them hit, or does both?
they
of them
all hit. They're all hits.
They all hit. So the short sword attack is just the plain attack, but the first martial arts attack prompts it to make a dexterity saving throw or be knocked prone.
Okay.
Nice.
You see, thing is, I feel like it should get advantage because it's 4-legged.
Surely it's got a lot of strength.
That's
That's its
that is
advantage.
fair.
No, it's a dexterity saving throw.
Oh.
yeah.
Haha.
basically
so it's
I'm
like
trying to
leg
trip it,
sweeps?
but it does
Yeah.
have four
Uh,
legs. So
we'll roll a d20 to see if I will rule that 4 legs give it advantage. 11 or higher, 4 legs gives it advantage.
are you rolling for it? Okay.
Cool. It has advantage, so drop lowest.
You said 11 or higher. That was a 10. That's lower.
Let me try that again, but with the right formula. There we go. What the? It's a 3 and a 4, so it fails. But why is that? Oh, wow, I told it to ignore both, but it's a 3 and a 4. So even with its advantage, it falls flat on its face. Just like,
All right. So I managed to trip a bear somehow, and then I guess with my other attack that also hits because it's especially grounded. Let me double check what the other things I can do. It cannot take reactions until the end of my next turn.
that is a
addition to
very
damage.
good choice.
Yeah.
So
I
you
figure
like
pushing at
slice your
15 feet
sword
won't do
into
much.
it and then like pound it, and as you do,
Yeah.
you see like the blood splatter onto you, and it begins to like harden and turn goopy and green, and then you
Yeah.
see the creature like on the ground shake its head, like it seems kind of disorientated by your flurry, and you see the blood on you just kind of like clump, and you don't see like vines sprouting from it to like tie you to the ground, and you feel like your choice has just stopped you from taking a nice negative. Oh well. And
Very
you
good, very
deal
good.
some serious damage, so that, like blood and sap and leaves and twigs just tear off this creature. You can see, however, though, this thing is big. It doesn't seem to be slowing.
Excellent.
Rakust, what you do?
All right, I'm gonna strike with my warhammer,
It's a solid hit.
and I'm gonna action surge and try attack it again.
Okay.
Action. Oh, no,
Another
it's
solid hit. So you like
Solid.
slam down on it twice with your warhammer. And it's almost like trying to chop a log of wood with a hammer. You can hear it splintering and cracking, and blood is beginning to seep out from beneath. But as the blood like gets to the surface, it turns that green color and hardens, and you can see like this crust of almost like tree skin, like bark, forming on it. But yeah,
Okay.
you've given it a pounding. It's looking a bit bedraggled now, you know. Robin, what'd you do?
Right, well, I'm restrained, but I've got a nice opening now that's on the floor, so that's kind of negated. So I'm going to capitalize on that and just attack it, struggle through the vines.
So you strain
Uh,
against
if
the
I-
vines that are tangling you, and you try to plunge your rapier down into it.
Indeed. If I hit, I will be smiting, so I'll just make that a 1 roll, so it all calculates it nicely for us.
Okey-dokes. Yeah, you hit, and you smite. So what's this smite look like? Describe how
I-
you lay this creature.
Yeah, so I'm like struggling against these vines, and like this, does it, sorry, did you say I killed it?
No.
Oh, okay. And I like the sword is already glowing, but it like glows even brighter. And then I just like I'm struggling, and then all of a sudden there's just like I managed to push through the vine a little bit, and my arm just like with the momentum that was built up just goes right into it, and then there's like the explosion which pushes me back a bit more. So I'm back to where I was stood before.
So I think you see like one of its legs just like get blasted off, and the leg like rolls away, and you can see it like already sprouting like flowers and stuff. And out from the stump, this vine just begins to like push, and it doesn't seem green like the forest. It seems like blood red, and it just like begins to extrude out until it's like almost like the skeleton of a leg.
And this thing's still standing, right?
Well, it's prone, but yes.
Oh
Brothgar,
yeah. I mean alive.
yeah.
Damn, this could be one of the toughest things people have fought. This is a tough mofo.
So Brothgar,
That XP though.
Well, Brothgar will start moving slowly towards the people who are mostly in trouble here. Then I'm not going to move through the bear. Then he like moves his flame spear again and first backwards then forwards rams it into this bear again, burning its buttocks.
Okay, roll up the damage. Once again, like the sap and blood splatters on your flaming sphere, and you see its pulse diminished by this thing's resilience.
And then at this point I'm going to throw Sacred Flame at it.
Sacred Flame connects.
Flame.
So you see this like holy energy descend upon it and begin to burn it away into cinders. Roll damage.
1d8.
Okay. So I think at this point, like the green foliage that was all over this creature is like burnt away, and all you can see now is just like sinuous muscle that's almost bleeding. This blood that is rapidly thickening as it excretes out onto the air. You see this thing like struggle to stand up with its one leg, and then there's just like this pulse through it, and the leg begins to like reform. You see like muscle and claw sprouting out from the bottom, and then it roars and it moves here. Robin, you get an attack of opportunity with disadvantage. It stands up.
Yep.
And I need Raccoose to make a strength check.
Oh baby.
Does 12 hit?
Oh baby.
A 12 does. Ooh. Raccoose. Excellent.
I'm crushed.
So excellent. So what happens is this monolithic bear staggers to its feet as its leg regrows, and it stumbles forward, slams into you, Raccoose, and you're like barreled away, like cinematic style. You roll head over feet into a tree, slam. There's probably like this moment of pain, and then the hammer like drops on the ground, and then you turn to see the bear like standing over you, its mouth wide open, and you're waiting for the pounce, and it doesn't come. The light in the creature's eyes dims, and it like slumps forward, and you just see Robin pull the rapier out of its back, like this holy energy spurts out of the hole, and all the vines that cover you, Robin, they begin to like just kind of turn to this red, thick, viscous liquid that just goes down you. The beast is dead.
Oh boy, that was close.
Damn.
Yeah.
That thing took a beating.
Wow.
Critical fail followed by critical success by the enemy. Could have died there.
It would have been fun. So, the beast dies, and you see it like slump onto the ground. Its leg, the one that's like regrowing, almost immediately turns to ash and just like slumps down onto the ground. The rest of it is still there. It's just this big red mass of thick meat.
Can I do a nature check to see if it's actually natural in this environment, or is it some sort of magical?
You can do a nature check, yeah.
Nature. I'm not good at these.
I mean, it's got muscle, it's got bone. If you hadn't seen like this with your own eyes, you would maybe be silly enough to think that this is a natural creature. But no, this is obviously magical in some way. You're just not sure what.
Okay.
Damn. Right, do we need to have a little sit down and rest before we continue on out of this forest? I believe there are hills up ahead.
Yes, and as much as I'd like to reach the hills, I think it's important to at least lick our wounds.
How many moves do we have left? We moved
one.
1, 2.
We have one left.
Oh, because it counts as 2 moves to.
Go through thick
Yeah.
jungle. Yep.
But now
why
we
the
don't have
entire
horses.
area is difficult.
So can we move out of this into the hills or not?
You can, yeah. You've already spent 2 moves moving through this area.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
So do we rest here or do we rest up at the hills? We rest up
should
at the
we-
hills anyway.
should we
I think-
try finding our horses first? Like,
Oh yeah, yeah. We
See if
probably
they-
gather ourselves and gather our horses.
Hmm.
Are they there?
Okay, so first of all, I need you all to make an animal handling check.
Oh boy. I think I have proficiency in it,
Oh, never mind.
but I've been rolling terrible today. Yeah, I've been rolling terrible.
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and use my inspiration on this one, so I'll have advantage. And I'm glad I did.
Yeah, you are.
Okay, so Rakust, I need you to roll a d100, and Tal or Brotgar, I need one of you to roll a d100.
Okay.
I rolled my D100. Is that good? I don't
I'll leave
think
No.
it
so.
No, it's not Rakust.
I'll
No, it's
roll it up.
I'm pretty good at rolling.
Okay,
God
so Rakust,
damn
I
it.
need you to roll another d100.
Okay.
Oh shit.
Excellent. Let's find out what your horse has stumbled into.
It looks like a short
Encounters-
rest. HP for everyone. No. Okay.
It stumbled into a short rest.
It's being helpful for you.
while the GM figures out what the horse stumbled into, I just noticed, Mike, you have a Moldvay D&D top on.
What?
Moldvay, one of the original D&D.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Nice.
Always try and get my game swag on for game days.
There we go. Okay, so Rakust, I need you to roll a d20 plus 1.
Thanks. Sorry, can you repeat? Skype lagged.
A d20 plus 1, please, Rakust.
Alright.
For no particular reason, unrelated to your horse.
Almost under 10.
So, okay, so hunting down your horses, someone's going to be needing to make a survival check, is what you're going to be looking for here. You're going to have to track them down. They've got quite a distance. Roll it up.
That'll be our monk, I think.
All right. Yeah.
He knows his stuff in this forest.
Excellent. So, very quickly, you can discern that there are 2 separate, directions they fled. They've both gone west, but 3 of them have gone, as a group, sticking together, and one of them's just, panicked, bolted away from the herd, and ran off in a separate direction.
So I guess we managed to collect the ones that went west because they didn't go as far and they traveled as a group.
I mean,
but,
they've all gone kind of west, but different, veering
different
of west.
wests.
Yeah, you're not going to have to overland travel to get them back up, but they've not gone as a group of 4.
Yeah.
All right.
So the question is, which one do you want to track down first? The last group?
The 3 group, yeah, would
Yeah, I
be
think
probably the
getting for
best.
free would be the wisest choice.
Okay, so a short moment later, we fade in on a scene of you calming down the horses. Tal, Robin, and Rakus, you have all found your horses. There they are. But Brutgar, as you look around
Damn
at
it.
these 3 horses for your own steed, you can see that it's not there. You can see that some of these horses have like got scratches on them where they've like rushed through trees and the trees have like scraped at them, but none of them seem to be terribly injured.
Mhm. Well, should I go like backwards?
We should all go. We should go with you.
Yeah, like go backwards and go follow the other tracks.
Yeah.
That
Okay.
shouldn't be a problem. Oh,
Yeah, no point. No point to start to wander aimlessly, hoping to find the tracks in the forest.
Hang on a sec. Ba, 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 da, ba, ba, ba. Please hold while the GM uses brain. I know, GMs should never use brain. It only results in pain. Pain and agony.
takes up both the action and bonus action of the GM every round.
Yeah, I know, it's pretty bad. Okie dokes. Cool. So, Cal, you're leading the way, tracking down this horse. Can you give me a perception test?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
My elf eyes don't see.
So you're too intent on following the tracks themselves that you stumble upon the horse, and there's that moment where you like push your way through the thick foliage, and you're there. Except the horse isn't alone. So you see the horse's hindquarters. It's facing away from you, and standing holding its head is an old man wearing this long, drab brown robe. And you can't see his face because he's like whispering to the horse. And he's just like, and then Brotzgar, you go clong, 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 clong in your heavy armor, and he like
Mhm.
he like lowers the horse's head, and you see the horse like kind of lower its head willingly, and from like beneath the cowl, he just says, "You are not from around here."
No, we come from Haven. Few days to
You
the
come
south.
from outside. You should not be here.
Well, if you give my horse back, we are going to
Your
leave.
horse is gone. You should leave.
The horse is right there, mister. And as I'm talking, I walk up behind Tal and put my hand on his back and give him 5 health,
Thank you.
as well as giving myself 10 health. Okay. Lay on hands.
Possibly a wise decision. So he says, "You should leave while you still can."
Yeah. Well, we are leaving. We are traveling west. Just give me my horse back, and we can leave.
Make a persuasion
Bloody old
test. He
fool.
begins like chuckling to himself and like lowers his head and his cowl like bobs up and down.
Persuasion is the. God damn.
So he chuckles. He goes, "Impudent fool, your horse is gone." And can everyone make a perception test real quick?
Sure.
To be surprised by the inevitable betrayal.
I knew there was something sneaky about this guy.
So yeah, Rakust, you're the only one surprised. Everyone else is hunky-dory.
What?
Oh crap.
What's happening?
Who'd have thought that he'll be hostile?
It's not his hostility that is the question.
I don't want that.
Cool. So if you could all roll initiatives, that would be grand.
Rest in pieces, Jorge.
Cool. Oh god, what is it? Don't make me do math. Cool. So, as you look at this man, right? He goes, impudent fools. And then the horse begins to bulge like a sack full of kittens. And then there's just this wet tearing sound. The skin of the horse sloughs off, and just this tide of rats bursts out of where the horse used to be and just descends towards you.
Oh,
As this
Oh,
occurs,
that's
the man
nasty.
like puts his hands together and pulls them apart, and you just see like where his hands were together as he pulls them apart, this sword of fire springs out of his hands. So, initiatives
Right.
for them. I
Whoa.
should roll, I guess.
I'm surprised,
Jungle
right?
cultists. I shouldn't be
yeah.
surprised.
Goddamn jungle cultists!
Wow, you
It's really
wanna-
not a session of Beyond the Bridge unless we run into at least one cultist as a random encounter. Like, there are just so many of them.
I mean, I should point out, you didn't run into it. Your horse did,
That's true.
and that makes it all the better. So, Rakus is surprised. Cool. So Tal, this horde of rats bursts forth, and it's massive. It's just this bubbling tirade, easily large enough to swallow 4 humans whole. So, what do you do?
Delightful.
I know, it's the best.
All right.
we're still
so
fighting in
Are we still?
You're
Difficult
still in the
terrain.
thick
Are we still
jungle.
in difficult terrain?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so it takes 2 points of movement per square.
That is correct. The deep
All
jungle
right.
is still deep.
Deep jungle, too deep. Let me. Oh wait. Oh, that doesn't matter. I can move ridiculous distances. So
You're a
one-
monk. You don't care
Yeah.
about that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I'm a monk. I don't care too much about this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So I would like to move here, but without. I think I just barely can make it because I have 45 feet of movement.
Cool.
But I think I should be able to make that, and then I will attack Weird Cultist Man. See how this first one goes.
Okie dokes. Yep, it's a hit.
Done.
I mean, you slide your
Nice.
sword into him.
That crit though. I'll just make it a flurry of blows because I don't want to spend too much time here.
Pow pow. Cool.
Excellent. So the first martial arts attack forces him to make the dex save or be prone. The second martial arts attack will remove his ability to react until the end of my next turn.
Cool. He's prone. You like run up to him. You slam your short sword into him. You pull it out. He has a brief moment of what? Also, you see the flaming sword just disappear, like wink out of existence, and then you sweep his legs out from under him. He falls on his back. The hood that's covering his face falls away, and you just see this face that's all scar tissue and pock marks, and these frenzied looking almost milky white eyes, and a look of surprise. Like, this guy was, "You impudent fools," a moment ago. Now he's flat on his back. He doesn't look like he's having a good time. And as he tries to stand up and make a go of it, you just slam him in the face again. His nose breaks, making it probably look a bit more straight. So, Rakus, you're surprised by this sudden turn of horsey events. And then the swarm goes, let's see, 1, 2, 22 makes an attack against Tal. Terror attacks. You kill a
Alrighty.
couple of rats, but there's easily 1,000. Hrothgar, attack against you. Boop. Misses. And 6.
Nope. Yep.
So, the swarm rolls over you, Tal, and then just continues, and it rolls into Hrothgar. And then the crazy man stands to his feet. And that's 15 feet, so okay, cool. He stands up and he looks at you, Tal. He goes, "It doesn't matter. Nothing matters." Ah! Make a save. I think it's strength saving throw.
Oh, interesting.
Strength. Cool.
Strength then. All right. Pretty solid.
The swarm rolls over you, Tal, and then just continues, and it rolls into Hrothgar. And then the crazy man stands to his feet. And that's 15 feet, so okay, cool. He stands up and he looks at you, Tal. He goes, "It doesn't matter. Nothing matters." Ah! Make a save. I think it's strength saving throw.
Oh, interesting.
Strength. Cool.
Strength then. All right. Pretty solid strength throw. How's a 14 do?
It's probably a pass. It is a pass,
Excellent.
so you're going to take half damage, which is wonderful.
Yay.
Yep. Excellent. It is in fact a strength save. I'm good. Nope. It's a con save. I lied.
Oh, damn. That's slightly
your
less good. I will lose. I would, with that roll, I would get a 12, or I can re-roll.
No, that's fine. 12, you still pass. That's my mistake
okay.
anyway. I shouldn't penalise you too much. So he slams his hands together. There's another shockwave of magic, but this time it's much louder and intense. You take 6 points of damage as it rolls over you.
All right.
Oh, is he casting a spell?
Yeah, he casts Thunderwave.
Oh,
And,
okay.
then he goes 1, 2. Robin, what'd you do?
Robin, he's gonna mess this guy's day up.
Not
So-
this guy. No,
Yeah.
his day.
Robin comes up behind him as he's focused on Tal, and as a bonus action before he strikes, let me just get the correct smite. Yes, this one. I will cast Raffle Smite upon my sword, so that if I hit, he will take an additional 3 psychic. But that's not the important part. It's the whole being scared of me that I care about.
Cool.
So 22,
Okay,
11,
so you
so
come
14
up
damage.
behind him, and you slide the rapier through his back, and he grabs at the rapier, turns around. I think you are forced to let go of the rapier, and he looks at you. And let me make a save for him. He looks at you with this look of bitterness. And then his eyes just go wide, and you see sheer horror grasp him. And then death. And he slumps forward, falling down onto the ground, your rapier sticking out of him as if someone were holding it for you to pick back up. It's just
Oh, damn! Now I feel like I wasted that spell. God damn.
he is a bit dead.
Yeah. See, I was expecting a much tougher fight after that last one took such a beating. Okay,
We did throw a lot of damage at a spellcaster, so
that's true.
I'm standing in a swarm
the way
of
to do it,
rats. I don't think this is over yet.
I'm still surprised.
the fight's gonna be over by the time Rakusta's shaking.
So, Hrothgar, what do you do? This swarm of rats has exploded out of your horse, It's now just rolling over you. You can feel it like biting and tearing at your armor, but it's metal. So what have you got to fear? But you can feel
So
the weight of them.
disgusting.
By the way,
weight of them is going to crush you more than their little teeth are.
You're horrible.
I remember a conversation about how amazing your cleric channel divinity is against swarms of little things.
But it's one big thing on the screen.
Still, it must look. I'm just thinking thematically, if you did it, it would look awesome. Just covered in rats and just like. "Rah!"
Yeah,
That's
I think
true.
we're gonna do that. So I'm gonna. It's swarm of rats all around me. I'm enraged by the death of my horse. I'm enraged at this guy that is now dead, and I summon my god and cast channel from the radiance of the dawn and strike this. My fire. So they must make fusion saving throw. And I'm
Okay. So
10.
the swarm of tiny creatures is very much like not in the ways of
Oh,
defending
look- oh.
itself. Cool. And you deal 28 damage to the swarm.
Holy snap!
Damn.
So, like, you cast this spell, and they begin to burn and wreathe and just fly away from you, and their little tiny bodies explode. But after a certain point, there's so many corpses that the ones underneath have like this thick layer of dead to protect them from the fire. And as the flames die away, they just like burst up from underneath and continue the work they were doing previously. Tal.
All right, let's see if we can further interrupt the work of these rats. All right, I guess I'll just move up next to Brotkar, and I'll make the classic sword punch combo. It's been a while.
Bow, bow.
El Clasico.
So, unsurprisingly, you hit. I mean, they're a literal mass. But you can tell that you're not having much of an effect. You swipe a couple of them away, but the swarm doesn't seem very diminished by this effort. You deal an amount of damage, which I have to math. Oh, God. Mathematics.
So,
I
34?
shouldn't say mathematics, I should say arithmetic. I mean, it's addition and subtraction. Okay, so you like slap away at a couple of them, but there's still easily over half the number you started with.
Yeah.
Rakust, finally you are able to spring to your senses and react to the terror that is amid you.
After regaining my senses after that horrible display of a horse turning into a swarm of rats, I look and there's right in front of me, and I'm gonna swing my warhammer at them.
Okay, so you like slam your hammer down into them and you feel their tiny spines crunching away like little bits of lint. It's just like crunch, 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 crunch. It's fine. But there's still just an unending tide. And the spellcaster is dead with the rats. So Tal, you get an attack of opportunity.
All right.
Cool. Okay, so you like stab them as the swarm rolls over Rakust. Rakust, your
18
armor
AC.
is not in the least bit affected as this swarm rolls over you. 1, 2. Brotkar. Yet again, more armor. 3. Rakust, you get an attack of opportunity.
All right.
Okay. So
Close.
you like slam your hammer down, crushing more and more of their tiny little spines. And attack against Tal, who nimbly avoids any repercussions. And there. And one attack against Robin. And he hits. Oh, hit there. The tiny rats bite into your flesh. And as they
Hopefully.
tear and rend, you take 5 points of damage. So, Robin, what do you do in response? There's a lot of them, and they're a serious threat. But like, as a trained fighter, you like rip them off your shoulders, throw them down, stomp them to the ground, and your leather armor is quite tough and sturdy. The real threat of these creatures is that they would engulf you, but they don't seem to be like trying to swarm any one person. They're just like roiling around.
Yeah. I mean, are they a threat really? Let's see.
Okay, so you like stab into them with your rapier, and there's just like a shish kebab of rats that comes out as you pull your rapier away.
And then I'll take a step back so I'm not in the pile of them.
Cool. 7. Cool. And Brodgar.
So, do they still like look alive? Like, is there still a huge pile of rats? Or is there like a bit smaller pile of rats?
It's still a huge pile of rats, but you can see it's like starting to fray at the edges. Like, where before it was like this sphere of roiling, bubbling mass, it's now like this kind of loose circle with like corpses everywhere. You can see that it's greatly diminished.
Yeah. I think I'm going to. Well, it's right next to me, so I can't actually do any ranged attacks really.
Sacred Flame. You can cast Sacred Flame.
Yeah, Sacred Flame I can. That's boring. Anything I throw at them, I get a disadvantage on.
You could always step back and do it.
Then they bite me to death.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to do that. So I'm going to step away from the rats.
They attack you! Ooh. As you step away, they like continue to tear and shred you. You take 2 points of damage. Boop.
Wow. Well, I have 15, so I'm going to move. How far can I move? Wait, not there. I can move that far. So I'll go there. And then I throw a guiding bolt at them.
Okie dokie.
Let me find the spell here.
Maybe this time it will hit.
Yeah, I hope it hits.
Yeah, Guiding Bolt's such a good spell when it hits, but every time I've seen it cast, it always misses. Oh, but that's not bad.
Full damage. Nice.
Plus advantage.
Yeah.
Advantage for Tal. Yeah.
Yeah, so the next attack
has
made
advantage.
against it. Yeah.
So the bolt slams into the massive rats, and it's almost like throwing a firework into them. They explode, and this massive anime, like, what would be in a creature, a spurt of blood comes out the back, but because it's this mass swarm, just, like, maybe 100 or so corpses of rats just fly up and, like, splatter against a tree. And maybe, like, we see one of those corpses just, like, land in, like, this massive Venus flytrap looking thing, and it just goes... You can tell that it's like, that was a big hit. The swarm's beginning to lose cohesion. There are more corpses now than living bodies. What you do, Tal?
Alright, I'm going to follow up on that. And Sword Punch. First one has advantage, and this one does not.
Okay, the first one needed advantage.
It did. Thank you
what's
for that.
6 and 7 is 13. Cool. So you, like, hack and punch at the rats, and they're so, like, frail and scattered now that you've got enough, like, pockets of air between them that you can really get your swings in. So instead of, like, quick punches and jabs, you've got, like, wide sweeping kicks with thousands of, like, tiny bodies going against the trees, but there's still just more to replace them. Like, they're hanging on to the tattered remains of Swarm Hood, but they still hold that title. Rakust, what do you do? I see. A wise decision.
Oh, nice. A crit.
So, Rakust, you swing your hammer
Oh,
down.
I was muted.
You were.
Sorry.
You swing your hammer down into the mass of rats, and they just like are crushed. You like lift it up, swing it down again, and there's just like pate beneath your hammer blows. The remaining rats break away and flood out into the jungle like scared teenagers. They're just like, ah! And all that are left where you're standing are the tattered remains of a horse's skin, thousands of corpses of rats, and this dead, crazed old man, his lifeless, milky white eyes staring down into the dirt in which he now resides.
I walk over to that corpse, that man's corpse, and I kick him. I kick the corpse.
So you kick him, and you see the corpse wobble, and as it does, you see the skin, like the robe, just like deflate, like a bad Star Wars animation when they do the Jedi disappearing, and then this massive rat, maybe the size of your leg, just like spurts quickly out of the top of his head and just like runs off into the jungle, and you can see like where it runs, the dead rats just like begin to desiccate and rot. Foul odor rises up from the ground, and there's just a wet squelching sound coming from the end of your boot.
Oh, well, Brockgar, we could always share a horse. I'm quite light as it is. You can probably sit on the back of mine.
I named her Bella. She was a fine horse.
Did that man have anything on him in the time, like writing or information?
Okay, do you like rummage through his robe?
Yeah, why not?
Okay, you find a piece of yarn that's rolled up into a ball, and it's maybe the size of like it's bigger than a tennis ball, but not as big as a football. I'm trying to think of the right kind of size. Like if you put two of your fists together, it's kind of that size, and
Okay.
it's tightly like rolled up. The yarn is dyed like a green, and you can kind of smell like a waxy odor to it. But that seems to be the only thing like other than this robe that he was wearing, and the robe itself is, if you imagine, have you ever seen when people have like dreadlocks and they don't keep care of them and it just forms like a carpet of hair?
Yeah.
Yeah, the robe is like that all over it. It doesn't seem so much fabric that's been weaved, more like just this matted mass of stinking hair.
Yummy. Okay, I guess we should move out of this clearing, find another one, take a short breather, and then get out of this place onto the hills we see.
Yeah.
We'd probably take a long rest since we're almost at the end of the day, probably.
Yeah, I mean,
we're going to set up camp on the hills.
If you want to just move to the hills and take a long rest, all you'll have to do is roll a d100 and a d100 for the night. Okay. Do you take the ball of yarn, by the way? Or do you just like toss it on the ground? You just like
I've written in my inventory weird yarn.
Okay. Make a note that you got it from the jungle, otherwise I won't have a clue what it is.
Okay.
Cool. So if you want to roll a d100 for your travel onto the hill,
Yeah,
we'll see
absolutely.
if you get goosely gibbled.
Can we short rest beforehand, or I guess it doesn't matter if we don't.
Okay. And roll a d100 for the night.
Okay. Oh god.
Fucking hell.
Of course.
Okay. So roll a d4. If you roll a 1, you don't have a short rest.
Oh, I like
Okay.
that.
You've at least had a short rest before whatever happens happens. Could you
Yeah,
roll
okay,
a
let's
d100, and then we'll go to a break?
Oh god. Oh, for fuck's sake!
Damn it.
Yeah, you need
Wait.
to. You need to.
Oh.
Okay, we're gonna take a break. All gain the benefits of a short rest, so roll up your hit die and everything, and we'll come back to see how you die. So come back in 5 minutes. Toodaloo.